Hi, everybody. Welcome. So good to see you guys this morning. I'm about to begin an all levels vinyasa class. Um, I would ask you, as we prepare for class, to grab yourself two blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, definitely just something that will allow you to bring the earth just a little bit closer to your hand. It could be, a hardbound book. It could be a a hard bottom water bottle, something that's flat. Anything that just allows you to put your hand on something. Good morning, Yvonne. Good to see you. Hey, listen, I've been thinking about nostalgia this week. I have really been sort of struck with it as we've been reading in the newspaper and actually even just feeling it in our own hearts. When are things going to get back to normal, whatever that was? And today it struck me that our nostalgia is exactly what that is. Nostalgia is, it comes from the Greek words nostos and algia. Nostos meaning returning home, algia meaning pain or suffering. And today on Earth Day, let's all just remember how nostalgia is a mixture of memory and imagination, two mind fluctuations that Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras tells us to seriously calm. We always want to be in a crystal clear place. Hi Tamara, how are you? Anyway, we'll start in this place of reckoning, of really understanding and thinking about how kind of normal really was, not in our imagination, but especially today on Earth Day, how nostalgia has clouded our understanding of the world. Think of how the pollution has gone down all over the globe. A good friend of mine, Stephen, posted a beautiful picture of the Himalayas that are finally being able to be seen. We're in a terrible crisis, but before this crisis, we were in a terrible crisis, one that we were ignoring. And so today, let's think about how nostalgia works in our lives, and let's really try and be pretty clear in our mind as we start our practice. So I invite you to take to your back in Shavasana, just feeling completely and totally supported by the earth. Give yourself some room between your legs and between your arms, and bring your palms to face up on the earth, just to receive the gifts of this practice. And once you feel pretty settled, shoulder blades are flat against the earth. Allow yourself to drop into the breath. Give yourself just a moment to recollect a time in the past that is joyful. Embrace that place in your heart. And today I invite you to set as an intention that you will find that place of joy today on the mat, in your body and in your breath. Perhaps there's something else that brought you to the mat today, something else you'd like to take away. Whatever it is, let's fold it in at heart center, either hand on top of heart, or an Anjali Mudra, prayer pose at the heart. And we'll open up our practice with one full, deep, clean breath of air. Exhaling, just let it go. And so let's bring the knees up into the belly. Give yourself a big squeeze this morning. Honor yourself for coming out to the mat this morning. Maybe rocking side to side on the back. Give yourself just a little sacral spine release. It might be without the commute, you've just woken up. So let's be very cognizant of the fact that we need to let our body kind of warm up and become awake. There we go, rocking side to side. And now soles of the feet down to the earth. Keep a bend into the knees, hands to the sides of the body, palms face down. Tuck the belly, so you're bringing your tailbone up off of the earth. Let's feel some crunch here. Let's feel some engagement in the inner thighs. On your inhale, lift the hips, lift the hands, and then everything down to the mat. Do this a couple more times. If it feels good just to let your eyes close and let this be a moving meditation, please go ahead and take care of yourself this morning. Remember, you are a creature of the earth. And you also deserve peace and wholeness, just like every other creature, every other living being on the earth. Now start to sync breath up with body movement. One more time. And all the way down. Now bring your hands out into T pattern or cactus arms, whatever feels good. If it feels better here, fine. Bring your knees up into your belly one more time, and then let them fall over to one side or the other. You choose. And once you're there, give yourself a little assist. Pull on that upper knee. Let's see if we can stay heavy in the shoulder blades. Deep, full breath in. Feel the belly engage and fill it up. And then exhale. Belly button to your spine. It might be nice to start coming into Ujjayi Pranayama, that warming breath. It is chilly this morning. So victorious pranayama. Gentle constriction on the back of the throat. One more time. Bringing both knees up and over to the other side. Once again, just settle in and relax. Everything to the mat. Give yourself that little assist. Back up to the center. And let's stretch out along the mat, just like you're waking up from a big nap. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Point the toes, engage the glutes. Exhale everything into the belly. One more time like that. Stretch it out. And exhale. Last time. Stretch it out. And bring it all the way back in. Rocking side to side. If you feel like you could, maybe a happy baby, grabbing for the insides of your feet, rocking side to side. And now knees up into the belly, give yourself a big squeeze, and then maybe rocking up and back along the spine, just maybe finding boat pose. Again, this might be a little early for you to try boat. Just coming up, we're going to find our way into table posture as soon as you're ready. So if you're playing, feel free to keep playing. Keep the belly engaged. If you're in your table posture, your hands are directly underneath your shoulders and your knees are directly underneath your hips. Once we get here, inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the chest and chin. Exhale, round through the spine. Couple more times. Inhaling, dropping the belly, lift the chest and chin, smile those collarbones. Exhale, round through the spine. Again, let's find some shoulder blade mobility down the back, pinching together. Exhaling, widening. There you go. Coming back to the center. Send your right foot back behind you and cross it over your left. And then take a look back over your left shoulder at your foot. Deep, full breath in. Try and square off those hips. Exhale. Take it a little bit deeper in this side stretch. One more time. And exhale, bring the foot back behind you and left hand out in front of you. So let's just surf the little bits of movement that we find here, right? We're going to engage through the belly and crunch. Very subtle. Try and keep that foot elevated, hip height. Flex into the foot, find heel strength here. One more. Everything down to the mat on your exhale. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest and chin. Exhale, round through the spine. Two more times. And now left foot back behind you, hip height. Cross it over your right. Take a look back. Again, square off the hips. Press into the ball of the foot. Take a look back. Find long, long left side body. Give it another full breath. And then once more back behind you, hip height. Engage through the belly. Lift your right hand out in front of you. Thumb faces up, just a little reminder to keep the shoulder blades down the back. Engage through the belly. Crunch those lower ribs in. We all know our habits, right? But just surfing the little bits of movement. Next, exhale everything down to the mat. Go ahead and release your hips to your heels. Find your child's pose. Dropping your head to the earth or just activating into the arms and into the neck. Whatever feels good for you this morning. Let's walk our way over to the right-hand side. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling to the left-hand side. Inhale back to center And coming up one more time to your table. Inhale your right hand high to the sky, and let's bring it through for a twist this morning. Just settle in on your right shoulder, press into your left hand. And let's use the belly to find the twist here. One more full deep breath. Back up to center with the hand and to the mat. Inhale, left hand high, bring it through for thread the needle. Settle in, press into your right hand. Use the belly, crunch the belly, feel the belly button coming towards your spine to take this twist. Deep, full breath in and out. On inhale, hand high to the sky and down to the mat. So find your table. Really find knees directly underneath the hips and your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes under. We're going to take a very short downward dog. All right, so this is obviously not our downward dog. It's a little too short, meaning that if I come up into plank, my shoulders are coming way, way over my hands. And we're just going to take this as a kind of a walk into our back body. So feel the engagement here of the heels closer to the earth. Lots of us want to be in a short downward dog just so we feel the planting of the feet. Engage through your inner thighs and press through your heels a little bit. Scoop your belly in and up. There we go. So we've got sort of this short downward dog. Now come up to the balls of your feet and lower your knees almost to the mat. Just hover. Exhaling, take it back, heels back to the mat. Press into your hands, press your bum back behind you. Let's take that again. Up onto the balls of the feet, and then bringing shoulders over your wrists. Just hover, scoop the belly. Next exhale, everything back to your short downward dog. Last time, up onto the balls of your feet, bring the shoulders over your wrist crease and hover. Let's take this 3 full deep breaths. And back to your short downward dog. Now, keep a bend into the knees as we take a very short walk to our hands. Every bit of the foot coming into contact with the mat. Once I'm up, let's find a forward fold here. You can keep a bend into the knees if that feels good. You can always use your blocks underneath your hands, your blocks or your books or whatever you've chosen. You can also just let your arms dangle like a rag doll. Let's really breathe here into the back of the legs. And let's feel that each breath we're getting longer in the side bodies. Deep, full breath in. And pull in that belly in and up and out of the way. Take a forward fold. One more full deep breath in. And out. Now bend really severely into the knees. Let your torso hit your upper thighs. And scoop the belly and round through the spine all the way up into your standing posture. So here, mountain pose, engage through the inner thighs, belly is engaged, glutes are engaged, shoulder blades down the back. On inhale, hands high to the sky, shoulder blades come down the back. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold perhaps a bit deeper. Send your right foot back behind you. Get really long in your lunge. And then the left foot follows, this time to an appropriate downward facing dog. We know it's appropriate because as we roll forward into our plank pose, shoulders are right over hip creases. And then dropping your knees to the mat and lowering Ardha Chaturanga, elbows hovering at the rib cage, shoulder blades down. Inhale up into your baby cobra. Now let's bring the feet together. All 10 toenails ground into the earth, light in the hands. So from here, let's bring the hands back behind and really engage. The heart shines forward. Next inhale, let's find Superman or Superwoman. One more full deep breath in. And exhale, cactus arms. Inhale. And exhale, everything down to the mat. And press yourself back, downward facing dog. From here, raising your right foot up and back behind you, let's really try and square off the hip. Press into both hands and feel the left heel grounding into the earth. Bring your knee up into belly, shoulders up over wrist, press into the hands, and place your foot up as far as it can go on the mat. The other foot just follows into a standing forward fold posture. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale all the way up, reach high, and hands together, heart center. We'll do that on the other side. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Send your left foot back behind you, long in the lunge. Right follows, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling up into your plank pose. Your choice, full or half Chaturanga Dandasana. Up into your baby cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Raising your left foot up and back behind you. Pull it through for your lunge. Other foot follows, standing forward fold. Inhale all the way up, reach high. Hands together, heart center. So sitting back into your chair, Utkatasana, you stay at the top of your mat. I'm going to take Utkatasana this way. So sitting back, tailbone is in the same neutral spine that I have when I'm standing. I'm just sitting down into my chair. Belly is engaged, inner thighs engaged. Hands up, or hands can be in cactus arms. Wherever we are, sit low, engage through the heels. Hands together, heart center on your inhale. Press forward with the hands. Get long in the side bodies once again. We'll take a twist over to the right. Now, I like to sort of hang on to my right knee and find my left elbow to the outside of that knee. And once I get here, I'm working to elongate through the body and use my belly to find the twist. I'm looking back at my knees, which are all whacked out. I need my knees parallel to one another. It gives me a sense that my hips are staying square, but my torso is twisting. Shoulder blades down the back. On your next inhale, everything back up, chair. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. exhale and fold. Send your right foot back behind you, long in the lunge. Left follows, downward facing dog. Roll it up, your choice. You can stay right here in your plank. You can take your chaturangas, or just coming back into your downward facing dog. Again, let's touch into what we need energetically. Raise your right foot up and back behind you. Pull it through for your warrior one foot pattern. Rising up, warrior one. Now, as we come up, let's make sure that we have the blocks where we need them on the mat. Okay, so something to place underneath your hands. Front knee directly over front ankle. The work here, and it's a lot of work, is to bring your right hip back behind you, left hip forward, so that the hip points are square to one another. Press into the big toe mound of your front foot and to the heel of your back foot. See if you can get really nice and straight in the back leg. Engage through the back quads, engage through the front quads. Hands high to the sky. Once we're ready, once we feel grounded on the earth, we can feel buoyant. Let's just take another deep, full breath here. And then with control, bring your hands down to your blocks or to the earth and raise the foot back behind you for your standing split. Now let's really try and work that leg up so that the foot is in line with the hips. Pull your belly in, shoulder blades still down the back. Let's remember that standing split is a forward fold. So we're engaging through that back leg, but we're forward folding. Let's take this into a little bit of a balance pose today. So bring one hand to the fleshy part right up above your knee, and maybe the other hand. And then let's really work on bringing the back body, use the back body to get up into your warrior three. See if you can find that T pattern in the body. With control, everything down to your lunge. Plant your left hand, right hand high to the sky. Take a twist. Deep, full breath in. Exhaling, hand down to the mat. Step it back, downward facing dog. Let's take a good 5 full deep breaths here. Let those breaths count. Let them be nurturing. Fill the belly. Empty the lungs. That Ujjayi Pranayama, man, its friend. Let it take you victoriously into the next side. All righty. We will come back to downward facing dog. Raising the left foot up and back behind you. And a long in that back leg. We need to practice lifting, right? And now bringing it through for your warrior one foot pattern. Again, locate the blocks, rising up, warrior one. So here, lots of us will have two completely different sides. Might have been easier on the other side. Might be a little easier on this side. Let's try hard not to think about what we were able to do at another time in our lives, because again, that kind of looking back, it has a lot of imagination in it. So knee directly over the front ankle, belly is engaged, lifting up, warrior one. On your next exhale, coming into standing split. Feel free to use the blocks. Again, remembering that this is a forward fold, looking for that sense of the belly coming to the thigh, pressing into that standing foot, lifting your upper leg. Now, let's try the balance pose. Find both hands to your upper knee, lower thigh. Pull the belly into it as you raise up into your warrior three. Press into that back foot. Lift, crunch. Get your shoulder blades involved here. Feel them engaging. Next, exhale. Find your foot coming down to the earth. Planting your right hand, left hand high to the sky. Take a twist, deep inhale. Exhale, everything down to the mat. Step it back, downward facing dog. Now your choice here, taking a vinyasa, remembering what I always say about vinyasa, it is a ritual. So you give something or you get something on the mat. Inhale, roll yourself up into your plank pose. Really get tight in your plank, dropping your knees or taking your full or half chaturanga dandasana up into your baby cobra or your upward facing dog. Everything, if you're here, everything's off the mat except the top of your feet and your hands. Exhaling back. Downward facing dog. Again, 5 full deep breaths here. All right. Taking a look between your hands, step, hop, or float your way up top of the mat, standing forward fold. Inhale back to your chair, Utkatasana. Sit low. Your quads are nice and warm now. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhaling, pull the prayer forward. Now, taking a twist to the left. Again, I like to use my hand to get a little lower and find both hands together. We're working so that the heart and the hands are in a line. Shoulder blades down the back, shoulder stacks on top of shoulder. Use your belly to find that twist. Long in the side body. And then back up to center. Exhale, take a forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. We'll need our blocks again. So let's step back with the right foot to a high lunge. So long in the lunge, really engage through the belly. Do you see what happens is I usually kind of sink into my chest, into my belly, but when I pull it up, I get longer in my back body. From here, light in the hands. Let's find our hands out so that we're in a 45-degree angle to the top of the mat. Really press into that back leg. Engage through the front foot and then pull everything up. High lunge. Deep, full breath in and out. And then let's just play a little bit here with flight. We don't have to go far, but let's just work here just to bring the back foot up and press into the front leg. Take it at your own pace. See what you discover. Okay, as you come back, see if you can plant that foot and really engage through the back foot. See if you can bring it all the way up to your hip. The importance of a drishti, not being a screen. Here we go. One more time. That's it. Engage to the back foot. Woo, Meg. Here we go. Coming all the way down, dropping your knee to the earth. So let's find one block. Bring it back behind you and settle your left hip onto the block or the book or your blanket or your pillow. The right knee in your hero's pose. Deep, full breath in, lifting up through the arms. Pull the belly in and up as you take a forward fold towards your foot. So let's feel as though the breath is unlocking here, the back of your left leg. Press your toes up towards your nose. Give it one more full deep breath. And then we will come back to our lunge. And step yourself forward for your forward fold. Inhale, flat back all the way up. And swan diving all the way back down. Inhale, lift and lengthen just to get the body nice and long here. Exhaling, fold. Send your left foot back behind you. Once again, we're going to find that high lunge position. So give yourself the firm foundation on the earth. And then when you're ready, hands off the block, find that long 45-degree angle. Press into your front foot and raise up, high lunge. So here we are, front knee bent directly over the front ankle, really long and strong in that back leg. And once again, hands to hips, and then let's just find some engagement in that front leg. All right, so lift, see if you can find your way into sort of the warrior 3 aspect. It's funny because as I lift up, I kind of lose engagement in my back leg. I don't want to do that because the back leg is as important in this pose, warrior 3, as the front. So just work it here. See what you can discover about yourself this morning. Once again, to your high lunge, hands come down to the mat, drop your knee right where it is, bring a block with you, sit on your block. I should have said on the other side. If you can find that your sit bones can come directly on the floor balanced with your knee in half heroes, feel free to be there. Inhale, hands high, long in the side bodies. Taking a forward fold. Let's look at the pronation of the foot. So we're right smack dab on the right heel. Each inhale, lengthening. Each exhale, forward folding just a bit more. And And coming all the way back up, remove the block from underneath you, bring it to the front of the mat, pop your knee up. Once again, we'll step forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward folding. Last time, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale all the way up, reach high, hands together, heart center. So I'm stepping back just so you can see a little bit more of what's going on here, but we're going to come into revolved half moon. Lots of us like half moon because it just sort of feels expansive and shiny, and it's really lovely to do against the wall. But this pose, this is a little bit more difficult. And I kind of think of it as symbolic for how nostalgia works in our lives. So we're kind of revolving our heart in an opposite direction of where it wants to shine. And we have to really work to get it. And unless we're really kind of all systems go, we find that the shine isn't as shiny. So it is in my body. Let's see how it feels in your body today. So we want to bring one block into this pose. Let's take a big step back with the right foot. Again, for warrior one foot pattern. We've been here before. We've been working it. So we want the left knee directly over left ankle. I'm having to adjust so I'm a little bit longer in my stance, but I want my hips to stay square. I've got the block in my right hand. I'm going to keep my left hand on my sacral spine. Just a reminder to stay really, really engaged in the body so that the hips are square. Bringing my block down to the earth, hand onto the block, I'm going to lift my right foot up and press through the heel. Now I want to make sure that my heel and my hips are in the same line. And then I can feel that I'm lifting up into the right hip a little bit more than I should be. So press through the heel. We can stay right here, just working shoulder on top of shoulder. Now see what I mean about the heart shining. Maybe that left hand comes into it, lifting. Maybe it just stays on your hip, opening out into your shiny heart as much as you can. Give it a full deep breath wherever you are. And then let's lower the foot down next to the left. Exhaling, taking a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward folding. Now, let's step back with the left foot. Left hand has the block, right hand to the sacral spine. Again, give yourself a moment to arrive. There's no reason to be flinging ourselves all over the mat. This is a precise practice, right? We need to really feel our habits because that's one of the reasons we do it. Calm the mind by seeing what you're attracted to, what you are averse to. Here we go. Slow and steady, bring the block down to the earth. Keep your hand on the sacral spine. Raise up the left foot. Crunch the belly. See if you can get into that T aspect of the heel to the crown of the head. And maybe begin to bring your torso to shine its light to the opposite wall or to the right side wall. Keep your belly engaged. Keep your shoulder blades down the back. And then lowering your foot down to the earth and a forward folding. Set your blocks aside to the top of the mat and step yourself back to your downward facing dog. So this will be one of the last times to take a vinyasa. Again, conscious of whether you need this or not. If you are coming up into your vinyasa, pulling yourself up into your plank pose, for those of us with shoulder injuries, this might be where we are. If you take it into your chaturanga dandasana, slow and steady, elbows scraping the side of the body, up into your back bend, and then exhaling back, downward facing dog. This time, let's drop knees to the earth and find our child's pose. 5 full, deep, resting breaths. So let's tune into that sense of joy that we had in our hearts at the beginning of our class. Looking back and finding that joy. And see if it kind of belongs here in this sense of your body and of your breath as you take a little pause. See if you can find that joy here. All right. Coming back to your downward dog once again. Raising your right foot up and back behind you. Give yourself a moment just to notice if anything has shifted about this pose since we've been working with the back body. Now draw your right knee directly behind your right elbow and bring the shin as parallel to the front of the mat as you can. We don't want to jerk it around with hands. Now come onto the top of your left foot, of left knee, and walk your left toes back for your pigeon. Now, for some of us, this is not a fun pose and might even be inappropriate in the hips. If so, take this on your back, a figure 4, right ankle over left knee. We can plug up any gap underneath our right hip, long in the side body. So we're not going to forget the belly here, even though we're kind of coming down into restorative postures. We want to keep a tone in the belly, shoulder blades down the back. Move your heart forward as you come down. You can come down onto your elbows or directly onto your torso. But let's just completely relax here. If you find that your head is off of the earth, that other block could be a great head holder here. Coming all the way up on your next inhale, remove the block from underneath you. And let's go ahead and move the left leg up and around. Find your sit bones either on the earth. If you find that you're really rounding through the back, let's sit on one of those blocks. Now, bringing the left leg up and around straight out in front of you. Crossing your right leg over the left knee, the whole right foot onto the mat. Spiral your heart now to shine against the right wall. Now, some of us like to hang on to the knee. Others, you might be able to find your elbow to the outside of the right knee, wherever you are, sitting up tall, shoulder blades down the back. Let's get the belly engaged one more time. On your next inhale, come all the way back around and give it a counter pose. Crossing your ankles, back to your downward facing dog. Last time for a vinyasa, should you need it. For those of us who are not taking the vinyasa, it might be just good to find a little bit of mobility in the hip, just countering a little bit of that deep stretch. Lifting your left leg up and back behind you. Once again, give yourself a moment to find the downward dog split and bringing left knee behind your left elbow and the shin as parallel to the earth as possible. Walking foot back, walking your right foot back. Let's just ensure that we're on the right knee cap. You know, it's not to one side or the other. Lift up tall, so scoop the belly, and then we will find our forward fold. Of course, we can always prop if we need to, if we feel like we have a gap. Prop down and forward folding. Again, this might not work on one side and works on the other. It might have worked 10 years ago and it's not working now. Whatever it is, let's just sort of embrace what it is today, this very moment. And let's just breathe. Breathe into this posture. Breathe into the back body. Feel the heart reaching for the top of your mat. And feel the effects of gravity. All right, inhaling up, removing the props from around you, swinging your right foot up and around, staying long in the right leg, toes are engaged towards the ceiling, bringing the left foot over, pressing into the entire left foot. So if you find that you're off one hip or the other, because you've got your leg folded under, let's find really solid sit bones on the earth, the whole left foot into the earth, hands high to the sky, and we're going to take a twist, shine the heart to the left side wall, either holding on or finding your twist in this manner. Inhaling, counter pose, and then back to center. Let's bring the feet out in front, removing flesh from underneath the body, underneath your sit bones, hands high to the sky. Paschimottanasana, so just forward fold. It's called a Western stretch. So shoulder blades down the back, belly is engaged. We're keeping the feet engaged, toes up towards the sky, exhaling, forward folding. Now, some of us like to catch the feet. Some of us just like to be here, wherever we are. Let's really work on lengthening through the body, through the back body, through the side body as we forward fold. You can always keep a bend into the knees here, finding your torso coming to the tops of your thighs. So bring a little bit more energy into the inner thighs as you take this forward fold. See what that does for you. See if you can gauge through the quads one more time, just like we were doing with our warrior threes with our half moon. This is not a passive pose. Coming up, finding Dandasana. So now torso is lined up over the hips. The legs are out in front. Again, you can keep a bend into the knees to get here. Hands to the sides of the body, just casually, just lightly. Let's feel the crown of the head opening up to the sky. Now bringing your hands back behind you, your choice. You can either find that long aspect in the legs, engage the belly and dip the toes down to the earth, or you can bring a bend into the knees and find your hips lifting up for your tabletop. Once again, we're going to keep a squeeze of the inner thighs, press into the hands, long in the side bodies. Everything down to the back. And let's come all the way down to the back. Knees up into the belly one more time, rocking side to side. Maybe it would feel good today to bring your feet out the width of the mat, and then just taking one knee into the middle of the mat, followed by the other. Whatever allows you just to give yourself a little bit of love, a little bit of back body love. Once again, knees into the belly. And let's bring our feet out to the sky. So it could always be this. You can keep a bend into your knees, but let's just feel as though we are smack dab on the middle of our sacral spine. Now, let's sort of give ourselves a challenge. Round and round she goes with the feet. Now, one thing that we need to remember is that we live in a narrative world. Everything is beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. Just a long, big, circular pattern of things, of events. Let's take it in the opposite direction. Beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. And then let's find that sweet spot of now. Right in the middle. Sacral spine is engaged into the mat. Right here, we can just feel the power of stillness. We can feel the joy of the present moment. Take a deep, full breath and let it go. Let the feet come down to the earth. And taking your Shavasana. Lots of space between the legs. Lots of space between the torso and the arms. If you need a little bit of a blanket on top of you, go ahead, make yourself comfortable. Let me read you these words from Art Buchwald. I'm old enough to remember him. He was such an amazing columnist for the Washington Post. But he wrote these words about nostalgia, something we need to remember today. We seem to be going through a period of nostalgia, and everyone seems to think yesterday was better than today. I don't think it was, and I would advise you not to wait 10 years before admitting that today was great. If you're hung up on nostalgia, pretend today is yesterday and just go out and have one hell of a good time. All right, dear friends, happy Earth Day to you. Thank you so much for the donations. Those of us who are making donations to environmental justice campaigns today, thank you to people who are going out and finding a little bit of joy in the great outdoors. I look forward to seeing you next week on Morning with Meg. See you soon. Bye-bye.